All right, so I'm about to play a decent portion of Hasan's video reacting to Keemstar and Jidion. I'm doing this because I want to make sure I don't take him out of context, and I want to show you the full scope of his thinking. So, with that being said, I will let the video play and you will see my response shortly enough.
To be unkempt.
If anything, he should have got the whole gang and like kicked me off his property. I was on his yard. If Brody wanted to go crazy, he had every right. Could have said it was self-defense and stuff like that. But no, he came outside. We had a civil discussion.
Wait, why is he straight up defending this dude who's like, I'm a white separationist? What the fuck's going on? That's crazy, dude. I didn't realize he was like actually fucking. I thought he was defending the mayor. Like,
so this is the Klan guy he's talking to.
that guy he's talking to is literally the neighbor of the fucking Grand Wizard of the KKK, and he openly in that conversation that they had, apparently was 45 minutes. I want to see the full one. I want to see the full cut. Straight up fucking says like, you know, you can't come to our church because it's a white church, and says that he's not a segregationist but a separationist.
Like, that's why, like, bro, I'm not saying you're a racist or nothing like that. But what I'm saying is, like, everything that you're saying in this video and what your chat's saying, I feel is way more racially motivated than anything he said.
Dude, why would the fuck would my chat be racist? What the fuck? What is he saying?
Anything that anybody in that town did to me and stuff like that. Because I feel like I'm being patronized. And when you're being patronized, that means you're not on that same level because the people think that they're superior.
The other part of this, though, is that this shows me more than anything else that like he straight up doesn't think this white separationist dude is a racist. He said, "I'm not calling you racist, but Hasan and his chat comments are more racially motivated than the Grand Wizard's friend guy."
So he's saying like more obsessed with race, right?
Yeah,
like
I mean,
he said, like,
classic. It's a classic conservative take, which is like
right.
liberals make everything, libtards make everything about race or whatever. His video lacked any sort of historical analysis in regards to the Klan. You added that, but that was the point of the video. Most racist town isn't that bad. Let's put hate aside. Exactly. So when he does that, he is in a weird way basically finding himself to do propaganda for the Klansman and his ideas. I don't know. Call me a white savior if you think that that's you know, addressing that with appropriate historical context makes me a white savior. But like I'm gonna do that no matter what. Let's see what Keemstar's fucking idiotic take was though, because I do want to see that. I do want to see what Killer Keemstar had to say. Hasan, racist, which love that. Didn't change. Look at the title. He's so awesome.
Right after Young Boy.
Speaking about yikes, I gotta tell you this story. Back. Okay, Jidion. All right, Jidion went to the most racist town in America. He uploaded this video 4 days ago. I went to the most racist town in America. The video has popped off, getting over 6 million views. Now, here's the thing. When Jidion went to this town, the most racist town in America, obviously is...
Why this motherfucker not, like, how does he not know how to shoot like a horizontal video? What the fuck? Why is this a vertical video, bro?
No, this is cinema verite.
He didn't really get a lot of hate. He didn't get a lot of racism. He actually talked to people. He had good conversations. The kids in the town were fans of Jidion. They invited him to the school. They had a...
There is so much to unpack there. Just so much. Because he's... He says, wait, does he not think that that guy's racist? No, Jidion is very, very aware of how racist he is. He's just still willing to have a conversation with him, which I know this is hard for you to grasp, Hasan, but believe it or not, a good way to make change in the world is if two sides of an argument come together and they have a civil discussion and have a better understanding of each other. You then try to criticize the point of, wait, he's saying my chat's racist? But you also, in the same video, make the analogy that, oh, like these white liberals would make comments about black people that they would never make in front of black people. To add on to that point, you're also saying that the guy was secretly trying to be racist towards Jidion, but then you also mention how like the church wouldn't accept him because he's black. So I'm not sure exactly how that's being subtle. Also, when you're openly a KKK member, you're not really being subtle about your racism. I think the racism like kind of just speaks for itself when you're a member of that. And then he also mentions that, oh, classic conservative take. So, and granted, I don't know what Jidion's politics are, but basically, from what I can infer in that is, oh, you're a black conservative, so your opinion on race doesn't actually matter, which is a take I see a lot of white left-leaning people take, because it sort of like the more extreme ones, right? It destroys their argument of the conservatives being the absolute evil that they are, because then what you're essentially saying with this argument is that black conservatives are too stupid to understand that the people that they're associating with are being racist towards them, which is not the case. People like for example, just because you may identify as a conservative, that might mean that you're a conservative in the sense of economics, but you're socially a progressive. Or I don't want to delve too much into like the different facets of like political thinking, but it's to have that take simply because he's a black person who is heavily disagreeing with you is just insane to me. And finally, Hasan, you mention how Jidion is making a propaganda film for the KKK. Hasan, explain this to me. How is in any way what Jidion did propaganda for the KKK? What he did was he went to a town that's known as quote unquote the most racist town in America. He then has a civil conversation with everyone in town, has an overall fantastic experience. Goes to the one KKK dude in town who technically isn't really in town, and then tries to have a civil conversation with him to try and understand his point of view and how someone like that can come to the conclusion, right? You are essentially invalidating any point of view that any point of view Jidion has, and you unironically also use the argument of like, oh well, I have black friends, and then you also well, what is it also you mentioned? You mentioned how that I'm gonna cut this part out. You mentioned that he like, oh, this like he doesn't understand my point of view. Jidion just doesn't understand. You're saying that Jidion like doesn't understand what racism is. Who, you know, I'm not gonna make the judgment, but who knows? He might have dealt with racism. He probably has family members who have dealt with racism, like genuine racism. So just because he doesn't align exactly what you're thinking is, you think he's a conservative, which by the way isn't inherently a bad thing, but from Hasan's point of view it's a bad thing, right? Because if you don't agree with him, that means you're ultra conservative. That means you just hate trans people, you hate gay people, you hate the blacks, even if you are black. I hope Nicholas Diorio's documentary on Hasan comes out soon, because like we need this to be like 2 hours long to explain like how insane this man is. the fact that he's gotten away with this so long. And there's something else I want to mention too. Ironically, the only group of people I've seen willing to hear out KKK members, and not in the sense that, oh, like, guys, you just need to, like, their ideas are good, you just need to hear them out, but like hear them out in the way to, so that way they can see why they come to these conclusions, right? There was this jazz / blues musician. I'll probably pull up a clip when I can, but I forget his name at the moment. He went on the Joe Rogan podcast and he talks about how he became friends with KKK members and he was able to convert them. And how he was able to do that was he opened dialogue. Now look, with some people there's no changing them, right? But if there's not an attempt of open dialogue with people, no change is possible. If you're instantly hostile towards someone, they're not going to hear you out whatsoever. If you want to affect change, you need to be willing to hear the other side. As pig-headed or as stubborn as the other side may be, you need to be able to listen to people. And that's just it. Anyway, this is Nerdy John, signing out. Have a good one.